Have you been struggling to make ends meet? Feeling the weight of inflation on your shoulders? Well, hold on to your seats, because I've got breaking news that could put $2,000 in your pocket starting today. That's right, former President Trump just dropped a bombshell announcement about a surprise IRS payout that's going to change everything for millions of Americans. But before we dive into all the details about who qualifies and how to claim your check, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You absolutely cannot afford to miss our daily updates on stimulus payments, tax refunds, and financial news that could put more money in your pocket. Now, let me be completely transparent with you. This announcement has sent shockwaves through Washington and has everyone asking, is this really happening? How much money are we talking about? And most importantly, do you qualify? I'm going to break down everything you need to know, including some little-known details that mainstream media isn't talking about. Let's start with the basics. According to the latest information, this new stimulus initiative is targeting middle-class Americans who've been hit hardest by recent economic challenges. But here's what makes this different from previous stimulus payments. It's being structured as a tax credit advance, which means the IRS has a completely different set of qualification requirements. You might be wondering why this is happening now? Well, it's all connected to recent economic indicators showing that despite what you might hear about a recovering economy, everyday Americans are still struggling. The average household is paying $450 more per month for the same goods and services compared to 2 years ago. This new stimulus package aims to address that gap directly. Here's where things get really interesting. Unlike previous stimulus payments, this one comes with some unique qualifications that you need to understand. First, let's talk about income thresholds. Single filers earning under $75,000 annually will receive the full $2,000 payment. For heads of household, that number goes up to $112,500, and married couples filing jointly can earn up to $150,000 and still receive the full amount. But wait, there's something crucial you need to know. If you've got dependents, the situation changes dramatically. For each qualifying dependent under 17, there's an additional $500 payment. That means a family of 4 could potentially receive up to $3,000. This is exactly why you need to understand all the details before assuming you don't qualify. Now, let's address some of the questions that have been flooding our comments section. Many of you have asked about Social Security recipients. And yes, if you receive Social Security benefits, you are eligible for this payment as long as you meet the income requirements. But here's something most people don't know. Even if you don't typically file taxes because your income is too low, you might still qualify for this payment. What about those of you who are on SSI or SSDI? This is where it gets interesting. Unlike previous stimulus payments, this new initiative has specific provisions for disabled Americans. The qualification process is slightly different, but don't worry, I'm going to explain exactly what you need to do to ensure you get your payment. Let's talk about timing, because this is where things get exciting. The IRS has announced that the first wave of payments starts going out today. But here's the catch. They're using a specific distribution schedule based on the last 2 digits of your Social Security number. This is crucial information that will help you know exactly when to expect your payment. For those of you wondering about the payment method, the IRS will use the same information they have on file from previous payments. If you've received direct deposits before, that's how you'll get this payment. But if you need to update your banking information or prefer a paper check, I'll show you exactly what steps to take. Here's something that's causing a lot of confusion: the relationship between this payment and your 2024 tax return. Some people are worried this might affect their future tax refund. Let me clear this up. This payment is structured as an advanced tax credit, but it won't reduce your regular tax refund. In fact, for some people, it might actually increase their refund next year. Now, let's talk about what you need to do right now to make sure you don't miss out. First, if you haven't filed your 2023 tax return yet, you need to do that immediately. The IRS will use your most recent tax return to determine eligibility. Second, make sure your direct deposit information is up to date. And third, this is crucial check if you need to fill out any additional forms based on your specific situation. But here's where you need to be careful. Unfortunately, whenever there's money involved, scammers come out of the woodwork. I'm already seeing fake websites and phishing emails claiming to help people get their payments faster. Remember this, the IRS will never contact you by email, text, or social media to ask for personal information. I'll show you how to spot these scams and protect yourself. Let's talk about some special cases that might apply to you. Are you a college student? There are specific provisions that might make you eligible even if you're claimed as a dependent on someone else's tax return. Recently divorced? There are special rules about who claims the payment. Self-employed? You'll want to pay special attention to the next section. For those of you who are self-employed or gig workers, this payment has some unique implications. Unlike previous stimulus payments, there are additional benefits built in for small business owners and independent contractors. This could mean extra money on top of the base $2,000 payment, depending on your situation. Here's something that's not getting enough attention. There are several ways to qualify for this payment, even if you think you might be excluded. For example, if your income was higher in 2023, but you've experienced a significant drop in 2024, there's a special provision that might help you qualify. This is exactly the kind of detail that mainstream media isn't covering. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. What about people who owe back taxes or other federal debts? This is different from previous stimulus payments. While past payments were generally protected from offset for federal debts, except for child support, this one has some different rules that you need to understand. For parents, there's something especially important you need to know. The additional dependent payment has some specific requirements that weren't in place for previous stimulus payments. I'm going to break down exactly what qualifies a child as a dependent for this payment, because it's not exactly the same as it is for tax purposes. Let's tackle some of the most common questions we're seeing in our comments. What if I moved recently? What if I changed banks? What if I'm not a U.S. citizen, but I have a valid Social Security number? I'm going to answer all of these questions and more, because these details could make the difference between getting your payment quickly or having to wait months. Here's something that might surprise you. There are actually several ways to track your payment once it's been processed. I'm going to show you exactly how to use the IRS tools to check your payment status and what to do if you run into any issues. This information is absolutely crucial for making sure you get your money as quickly as possible. Now, let's talk about what this means for the economy as a whole. This isn't just about individual payments. This stimulus initiative is expected to inject billions into the economy. But what does that mean for inflation? What about future tax implications? These are important questions that could affect your financial planning. As we wrap up, let me give you the most important takeaways. First, don't assume you don't qualify. The requirements for this payment are different from previous ones. Second, act quickly. There are deadlines you need to meet. And third, be careful about scams. I'll put some resources in the description below to help you protect yourself. If you found this information helpful, please smash that like button and share this video with anyone who might need this information. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on any changes or additional payments that might be coming. Drop a comment below with any questions. I read every single one and try to answer as many as I can. And here's one final tip. I've created a free PDF guide with everything we covered today, plus some bonus information about maximizing your payment. Click the link in the description to download it now. Don't forget to join our private Facebook group where we share daily updates about stimulus payments, tax refunds, and other financial opportunities. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe and financially savvy.